The swamp is one of the most open and unique biomes in Minecraft, thanks to its, well, swampy nature. It's the place where land and water perfectly meet, and today I'm going to try to build one in Lego. This will be my biggest above ground module yet, and possibly my best, so let's get started. Alright, for this one, I am actually using the 32 by 16 bricks, or 16 by 8 bricks in Minecraft. I'm hoping this one's going to be pretty big, and I want to give it some breathing space. So most of this is going to be tiled off with water, but then there's going to be some land sticking out of it. So let's do that right now. Alright, and it's time to build a swamp tree. For the logs, I'm just going to be using reddish brown bricks because it's just oak. And then for the leaves are going to be a little harder because I'm going to use some dark green, mostly dark green actually, with a little bit of regular green integrated into that. Alright, and finally time to make the vines, and for that, that's going to be pretty easy. All I have to do is use these 1x1x1 pieces that I got from Pick-a-Brick, and I'm just going to be alternating this pattern along it, just like that. Alright, and finally, for the ends of these vines, I'm going to be using these pieces. So, I'll only need a few, but I'm going to put them on the edges of these vines, just like that. Alright, time to put this tree together. So we've got the logs, then we're going to put the leaves on top of that, just like that. And finally, just adding the vines to these snot bricks here. And there we have our swamp tree. Alright, time to attach this to my swamp. So, I've got this grass block here, dirt block here, and I've made all this a plate above the water, that way it stays accurate to the game. And I'm just gonna put down my swamp tree right there. And there we go, we have a little tiny island with that swamp tree and the vine hanging down. And I'm also gonna put down some dirt here on our main swamp island. Alright, time to make the rest of this ground for the main island. Alright, and there we go. That's all the swamp ground. Alright, I also wanted to make some lily pads, and the way I'm going to do it, I'm using these pieces for the top, and so I have enough pieces for one lily pad, and then I'm just going to use one of these at the bottom. Okay, time to work on the witch hut. But unfortunately, a lot of the reddish-brown pieces from the earlier sets tend to break a lot. So, after scrapping the trash pieces, I got to work on the witch hut. But guess what? I got a lot of new bricks. Alright, and here is the main part of the witch hut. I haven't decorated the interior yet, but this is what it looks like right now. I literally just used snot bricks, which are the perfect size, the perfect height for a one full block, so that was easy. And then this is the rest of it, and I actually used one of these broken bricks to my advantage, because now I can put a base plate on top of that now that two of those are gone. And here's what the interior looks like right now. Now it's time to build the roof. Alright, the roof is all done, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Look how big it is. Alright, well, it's time to attach that to the witch hut. And there is our witch hut. Wow. For such a small structure in actual Minecraft, this was surprisingly hard to build. In fact, I think it was the hardest thing I've ever built. And a lot of that comes from those cracking reddish-brown pieces. That was a nightmare. But it's actually done. The frame itself is done. That was the hard part. And now comes the easy part. I get to furnish the inside. Alright, so I have the fence posts here. So, the other things that can be found in a witch hut are cauldron, crafting table, and mushrooms. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the pieces to build a cauldron yet, but when I get them, it's definitely going to be going in. However, I do have quite a few crafting tables, so I'm going to put one in right there. Over on this windowsill, I'm going to be putting down a potted mushroom, and that's my pot, and here is my mushroom, and it actually looks pretty good. And I'm also going to put a brown mushroom on the floor right there. Alright, sadly, at the moment I do not have a witch, but when the pumpkin farm comes out in August, I'll probably buy that, and then I will have a witch. Alright, time to place this thing, and it's gonna go down right there. Oh, wow, that thing is huge. Look how it dwarfs that swamp tree and everything else in the swamp. I don't have a frog either, but I'm planning to get the swamp adventure soon, and of course the pumpkin farm has one. But for now, I can put a slime here. I also added a little bit of clay over here with some bluish gray pieces. And I think that's it for the main swamp itself. As far as connecting it to the rest of my world, after a lot of trying around at different locations in my world to place it, I eventually decided to place it next to the dripstone cave, because how perfect of a transition is that? Unfortunately, there's one small problem with that transition. This is extremely low, while this is extremely high. The contrasting heights of this build are just too great, too steep. And to gradual it out, I decided to make a hill with maybe a little cave entrance here. And that is where this and this come in. I'm also going to put on a dripstone tile right there to add to the transition between the dripstone cave and the swamp. And there is our completed swamp module. I think this might actually be the best module yet. This is an awesome build, especially because of its size and how much I could add to it. Alright, connecting it into my world, it just made up a sizable portion of that world. My Lego Minecraft world just turned a corner. Literally. And I'll be filling in these two quarter chunks very soon. And I'll have my third overworld chunk. But for now, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.